there are men that could fit that mold, but they just don't check off any of these other lists. And even if they checked off half of them and gave it close to what she wants, she would not be happy in that dynamic. She just will not. It'll probably last maybe 2-3 years, but after that, at some point, it will break. And certain dynamics and certain energies and are going to just give away, and she's going to be unhappy. So, are you willing to be unhappy but get half the things and be in the leadership role, or do you want someone who doesn't doesn't have the amount of accolades or the amount of money that you have, but can suffice all these other areas, right? There has to be a trade-off somewhere where it's complementary, but this sort of fictitious person that she's kind of conjuring in her head isn't going to lead to any fruitful future.
Yeah, I think she can get the person in a very temporary state, right? So she can get a man to meet all the metrics, but that relationship I can't see going longer than 5 to 7 years. It will be a very temporary solution. If she just want to bypass that, artificial insemination might be the best thing.
Marcus, you mentioned Destiny. Did you see what happened to Homeboy this week?
Yeah.
I only caught the cliff notes.
Yeah, he lost his wife for somebody even softer.
It's a dirty game out there.
Hold on. When we say lost, you mean she's gone?
Yeah,
they're getting a divorce. Yeah, she's leaving him for a dude that's even weaker than Destiny, believe it or not. Apparently he is, but yeah.
Strange thing about that, Trev, is the type of guy Destiny is, she wouldn't want, like, that girl wants that type of man, and she's going deeper into that hole. I don't think Ms. Williams actually would want a man that's like that. She just would. That's what she would need, though. Like, for what she wants to do. I don't think she would like a man like that.
The man she wants is fictional.
It exists, but it's not going to operate how she want to operate.
I got something different from it, right? I think at the time, what she was looking for was, and this is why, because let's keep it real. No way she married a bum at that time. She's making 6 figures at that time. There is no way in hell she married a bum. We know that she probably more than likely, if she has that mentality, she more than likely married her equal. But here's what she wanted. Because what was that word she used? She said something, risk something. What was that word?
Risk assessment or risk solvent? No, I think it was risk assessment. Essentially, she was describing somebody that has risk tolerance.
Risk tolerance, that was the word. That was the word.
Okay.
So what she was looking for was somebody who she wanted somebody who would let her be fully autonomous, right? But was willing to eat her risk. What do I mean by that? She wanted somebody that will be willing to let her go out there and do what she want, and they finance any risk that she takes. So if she wants to quit her job, he doesn't care because he got it. If she wanted to go off into a different venture, it's okay because he got it. And that wasn't the type of man that she married. The type of man she married was probably one that was like, no, I'm not letting you. Why would you quit your job knowing that we supposed to? And I'm sure that he was just as successful as she was. We moving in this direction, and you want to detour and just go do some random stuff. And he was like, no, I'm not going. And they bumped heads on that. That's what she wanted at that time. And what I think she wants at this time, this is why I don't believe women when they say it's hard to find love. You can't tell me in one breath that it's hard to find love, it's hard to find your equal, and it's hard to find a man. But in the same breath, tell me that men are dominating all the fields and they're taking over, and you don't have, and it's not easy for you to get a leg up over the men, or that men are being paid more than you. Which one is it? Because I guarantee you, look around that newsroom, there's plenty of men that are your equal. But like so many men on this panel have said, they're not gonna go for someone like you who's willing to do the things that you're willing to do and rock with you on that. They have their own plans and their own motivation and their own things going on. So I think for Ebony, I don't think she's gonna be single. I don't think she's single now. I'm sure she got somebody doing something for her. But as far as her coming out and publicly remarrying and all of that, I think that ship is sailed. I think she, like so many of y'all have already said, she's priced herself out of the market. I think having children is pretty much out of the cards for her. She's even spoke to how complicated it has been for her to try to have children. And I think she's at a point in her life she's gonna look kind of like that one lady. I can't remember. She was a musician when she gets in her 60s, and she's basically gonna be that independent woman. She chose her path. You're that independent woman. You got it. You financially stabilized yourself. You did what you wanted to do in life. The problem is that you forgot that, you know what I mean? A man is bigger than just somebody who can be your fail safe. And that's what she looked at as that's what she thought of men at that time. They were only a fail safe for her dreams. Whatever I want to do it, and you got to be my fail safe, because that's the only way I will feel safe around you. I will feel secure around you, as if you can take on my burdens and be okay with it. And she had a man that was willing to rock, that was her equal, and she didn't want to be equal in that relationship. She wanted to do what the hell she wanted to do. Well, you got it. Eat it.
She thought she could replace him. That was the problem.
And that was another thing. She thought she could replace him.
All right.
So it is
I
what
think
it
the
is.
risk tolerant thing.
Well,
The risk tolerant thing
technically,
is interesting
she
because,
almost
like,
did replace it.
yeah, this risk tolerant thing is interesting because it's like I feel like commitment is the exact opposite of that. Like, the whole point of being in a relationship is because you're not trying to take no risks. You're trying to lock something down and figure it out and be stable. So for her to be saying she wants a life partner who's also risk tolerant, that doesn't equate. It can't equate. If you want to be risk tolerant, then that's what single is for. Single is for being risk tolerant. Every person that she dates when she's single is gonna be risk tolerant. They're all gonna be like, "Oh, I could lose her tomorrow. I might have her tomorrow. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen." So just this concept, it's like a lot of women have these just completely oxymoronical concepts that they think can work, and I just don't understand why. It's completely hypocritical. There's no way you can have a risk tolerant. A person who's looking for a long term committed relationship is not looking to be risk tolerant. It's like if I'm looking to buy into a safe investment, I'm not looking to also, you know what I mean, take a risky investment. Those aren't the same thing. Those are two completely different strategies at a relationship or building wealth, for the sake of the analogy. So
I think the same thing happens to a lot of women, right? Where they feel like men want the same things that women want, because she feels like she qualifies. She feels entitled to what it is that she's asking for, because otherwise she wouldn't really be going for it. She really feels like she can get this type of man, this fantasy man that she's talking about, but he doesn't really exist. And when I say he doesn't exist, he does, but not in the way that she thinks he's going to behave. That type of man doesn't exist, but she feels like she qualifies for it, so she's going to get what she wants, not realizing that she's at the twilight of her marketability, and she just figures she could hit a buzzer beater and win, but it's not going to happen for her. Now, this, like Marcus mentioned, artificial insemination, that's sounding like a real option right now. Everything, I'm sure the walls are closing in on her. So at some point, she's going to hit this reality and realize that she's already ran into the wall. She just doesn't get it yet, because she really feels like she can get this man, because she thinks that men want the same things because of your accomplishments, because of your celebrity. And we don't really care about that. That's not valuable to men. We don't care the fact that you have a bunch of money. That's cute, but that's not what we look for. That's not a quality that we look for. None of us on this panel is like, damn, I'm about to get a joint that got bread. No, we want a beautiful woman who's to, even if you have a career, but that it be you lead with. That's just like a man leads with this wallet. Even women don't like that much. Why would we want a woman who's, you could be hyper successful and that's cool, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a soft, feminine woman who's going to be a part of our lives. We're looking for a mother for our children to raise our family. We're not looking for somebody who's career driven like we are. That's not attractive to most men. And she doesn't even understand it. She just never going to dig it until it's too late.